What's going on, everybody? Do you know what this is? This is a resume. Actually, it's not. It's a dentistry membership plan, but it helps get the point across. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing your resumes. You sent them to me and on a live stream that I did, and I'm going to be looking at things that we can take away, things that we can add, just overall improve your resume. I'm going to be redacting all the personal information so you guys can't creep on each other. Please don't do that. Please don't try to do that. If you want to be featured in the next episode, check the description down below. I got my email in there. Go ahead, send me an email, attach your resume. I'll redact all the personal info, and then we'll do it in the next episode. So hopefully I can get enough to keep doing these, like I say, as an ongoing basis. I also want to do cover letter review and portfolio review, but I need more content from you guys in order to do that. But we're happy to do these types of videos. Keep in mind, everything I say is like my opinion, my thoughts. I'm not like a resume, professional here. I've just applied to a lot of jobs. I probably shouldn't disqualify myself like that, but just take everything with a grain of salt. I'm here to help. That is my entire goal. So let's jump into these resumes. Before we actually look at the PDFs, we need some sort of criteria, some sort of rubric to kind of grade these on, so to speak. So this is what I'm going to be looking for, and this is what people have told me that they look for in resumes. And also I look at these things when I have hired people, which I've done a couple times at this job that I'm currently at now. So number one, first impressions. That means you have about 4 to 5 seconds of the person's attention before they decide, hey, this is a garbage resume, or hey, this is going into the pile where I'll actually consider and look at later. So first impressions, you might need some color, you might need some layout, like what's on there. It's very subjective. If you're applying to like this really back-end IT job, you might not need any color on your resume, right? So subjective. So first impressions, action verbs, those are the things like drove, team meetings, action verbs. There's a whole list. I'll post the list in the description, and I'll probably post the list right here so you can see them. Okay, next up, we have the layouts. What is the order? Do you have bullet points? Are you formatting? What about your bold? Italics? Do you have too much of that? Next up, we have first person. First person is bad. Don't say I did this, I did that. Anything first person in your resume, try to eliminate that. How is your summary? So right below your information, your address, email, phone number, how they can get in contact with you, you need to have a little summary, but you don't need a novel. Just a couple sentences is enough. You don't need to write your life story in there. After that are your skills, front and center. This is how you make a resume. Don't put that below your education. Don't put that below your projects. Put your skills front and center. Like, you only have a few seconds. You want to make sure they can get to your ability within that time frame. Do you have certifications? Do you have education? Where are your side projects? Do you have a link to your portfolio, a link to your LinkedIn, and a link to your GitHub? Those are the qualifications that I'll be looking for while I review these resumes. Maybe I'll give it like a 4 out of 5 stars, but that will just be an arbitrary number, so ignore that. That's what we'll use. Let's look at Joe's resume here. Nice formatting, looks really good. My immediate is like, oh, profile, okay, cool. A little summary here, got that going on. Technical skills, boom, right away, perfect. We have all of the contact info we need. LinkedIn, good. I think we need a link to a portfolio and a GitHub. I don't see that anywhere. A good place to put those would be in the footer down here, or the header up here. You can take these links. So how I have my resume is I have my GitHub here, portfolio here, and my LinkedIn here. Just tiny little links. If they want to see it, they'll click on it. But overall, the formatting of this is fantastic. Very black and white, straight to the point. Education, perfect at the bottom. Just, it's kind of irrelevant in software. Side projects, crypto portfolio, hey, open source platform, that's pretty sweet, good. The only thing that I think you're missing here would be links to these portfolios or these side projects for them to be able to see your code. Previous experience, nice. As for my opinion on your previous experience section, I would take these and I would break these into bullet points. So one bullet point, another bullet point, another bullet point. For everything that you've done here. We have some first person here. We want to remove this, so I think that you could remove I started to just started contributing to open source through the project on Free Code Camp. And then you could remove this first person. Instead of saying I've worked on, you could be like restructured the code base, worked on creating, what else? Worked on both front end, you could look up in the thesaurus. Why is that so hard to say? You could look up in the thesaurus for different words for worked, or I've maintained both the front end and back end here. I've gained the respect of the developer team. This is very subjective. Unless you have a cover letter, I wouldn't include this because they might want to check that reference specifically when you include stuff like that. The development consisted of an admin. This is kind of a summary more than what the things you did exactly here. But I like that you included these tools. This is awesome. You included the tools and gave a little summary of what you did. What you could do is have bullet points that break out what you did and then have the tools used at the end of that sentence. So they'd be like, I constructed components, and at the end of that little bullet point, you'd be like React.js. That would be a good way to do that there. Professional experience. I don't think that you need to separate professional and previous experience into two different categories. I would just remove professional and previous and just have it all in one, call it experience. Here, so what you have here, created ad hoc with these little, they're not bullet points, they're tiny little arrows, but that works just the same. Worked on a team of 2. Again, here with the first person, we can take that out. Worked on a team of 6. Instead of I worked on a team of 6, you could be like, I collaborated with a team of 6 people. Yeah, we designed, bootstrapped, and software as a service. So there's a little typo there. We bootstrapped software as a software as a service. Yeah, specifically here we go with the first person again. We need to remove that, and then this would be its own separate point. Okay, let's look at the technical skills and interests. Hey, that's cool. I don't really think you need to include an interest. I just put technical skills. Generally, those happen to be your interests. It doesn't matter if you worked with them professionally or not. When they ask you about the skill, then you can tell them it's an interest and hey, I haven't done it, but I'm really excited about it. That's my 2 cents on that. I really like your summary. It's not too long, just a couple sentences. Extensive experience, digital marketing space, product development provides you with entrepreneurial solutions. This is a little vague. Not sure what that means. Might want to remove. What is creative entrepreneurial solutions? I'm not sure. When I read this, it's the first time I've like read through it and tried to process it. I'm not 100% sure what that means. We have a third page. Okay, that works. Okay, so at the bottom, we have a third page, professional references for you. Email, nice. And then you include a little quote from their professional reference. Another one, then you include a quote from their professional reference. Another one and a quote. Okay, so another way that you could do this would be have them write a PDF and sign it. Like it's the chance is low that they'll actually follow up with this, but you did make a statement here, gain the respect of people, and so they might want to check because of that reason. But references, usually 2 references are enough. I would generally say references available upon request, simply because this is 3 pages long, not because these are bad references or anything like that. It's always good to have references. I myself, I have a Google Drive folder that says recommendation letters, and that's in my portfolio. So when you go to my portfolio, you can see a list of the projects that I've worked on, and those are in folders. And then I have a recommendation folder at the end, which contains all of the recommendation letters that I've received with their signature, phone number, and email. So instead of me kind of taking quotes or, did they say this? Was this in an email to you? Like, what's the source? So that would be my 2 cents on that. But overall, just a little bit of a restructure here. But the actual from top to bottom layout, perfecto. I really like these little arrows. Nice little way to get away from the classic bullet points. Same for this. Overall, good resume, just restructured a little bit. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so here we go. We got Steve's resume. He includes a picture on his resume. This is a more European thing to do. If you are in the US, don't put a picture on your resume. It's kind of strange. If they want to see your picture, they'll usually go to your LinkedIn. I don't include a picture with my resume because people are judgmental. They might be like, hey, this guy doesn't look like he can do anything. And like, then, they may be joking, or they may not mean it, but they've already planted some sort of subconscious seed where they've decided like, yeah, no, just because he looks weird, I don't want to sit next to him. I'm not saying that Steve looks weird. I'm just saying these are the assumptions that people make. So don't put yourself in that box already just because you include a picture of yourself. So Steve, first things first, remove that picture. Second, we need a little summary here, like passionate student currently learning software development or something like that. We need something, just a little bit of personality here. Nothing too big. Just a little summary. You could put that right under your full stack software developer here. Just passionate about software development or something like that. The actual color is super cool. The layout is kind of like a brochure. That's kind of neat. I really like that. Skills front and center, perfect. Good. I really like your use of icons. Those are pretty sweet there. Project study buddy. Okay. Oh, you have a link to it, and I can mouse over it. That's not very intuitive. I would probably highlight that blue or something like that. Activities. This is a section that depends on the company. I'd probably just remove this and replace this with a different section, or maybe include a summary here instead of putting it there. Not necessarily sure that you need an activities thing. Again, people will make assumptions on things that you do outside of work. Okay, here we go. We got so awards. Awards are always good. You might need references for these because anyone can just put that until they ask you about it, You don't really have a chance to justify yourself here, so you might want to include some sources. Experience, Lambda School. All right, that works. Oh, we've got student, teaching assistant, 6 months CS, complete all curriculum coursework. Yeah, what we got here is what's known as action verbs, the things that I was talking about a little bit ago. We have led a daily stand, review student pull request, conduct, mentor, encourage. These are all words. There is no first person here, so you got that going. Awesome. Another thing here is you have the link. So we have a link for your GitHub, a link for your LinkedIn, but there's no portfolio link. I know that you don't have a large portfolio right now, but you should start building a website, if anything. If you're going to be a full stack software developer, you should have a personal website which just reflects this resume, and then you'd have a chance to use some of that website real estate for your study buddy project that you have here. So this is really good. I really like the layout. It's very attention grabbing. The only thing I would do is just remove this picture. That's just my 2 cents. So the only thing that I would say would be to start expanding this project section and then eliminate this activities real estate, kind of trade out the two there for that. Yeah, but overall it's a single page resume, and those are the most preferred. It's hard to put all of your stuff on there. I like that you put patience, positivity, Git version control. Yeah, that's super cool. Awesome resume. All right, we got Jonas. First things, it's got some blue, gray, and black coloring to it. So let's start at the top here. We have portfolio link, GitHub link, LinkedIn link. Perfect. Just at the top, easy to get to, makes sense. Education. I would substitute this education section immediately and put it below your projects. And you have a project section that says all projects available on my GitHub and portfolio site. When you lay it out like this, you're forcing them to click on these links, and that's forcing their time. And again, you only have a few seconds to make an impression. So if they scroll down and they see all projects, I have to go to his GitHub, then they're high chance of them nexting you. So what I would do here is I would take your education and I would put it below your work history area, and then put this projects up here and replace that space. It's going to force you to describe these projects. But what you want to do here is you want to list your projects that you have in your GitHub to entice them to be like, oh, that sounds like a sweet project. Let me look at the code for this. Not, here's my projects, you can't see them. They're in my GitHub. So in my opinion, you have that a little backwards. I would want to see, oh, that sounds sweet. Yeah, let me check that out. Versus, oh, well, I don't know what he has. I don't really have time to see what he has. And just next. You get the point. Another thing here, I like that you have your skills front and center. Certifications, perfect. It's always good to have certifications. And then you have links to all these as well. Languages, native English. You don't really have to put languages native English unless you speak more than one language. And then you have a statement to future employer below in the work history. I would make this. This is more like a summary. So I would take this and put this up here in this space that you have between what you define yourself as and, well, this would be your projects section here. I would put that little summary here so they don't have to scroll all the way down to see. Okay, so overall, I would say slight restructure, move education down below work history, move projects up, fill out your projects, describe them so they look super cool, and then move this summary up here at the top. No picture, that's also good, and it's pretty short, so that's also good. Oh, one last thing that I just noticed here looking at this is that you have very, very short descriptions of what you've done as a web developer, and I know that web developers, they do more than one sentence. Web developer designer for Blue Juju clothing company. What does that mean? What did you do there? Designed and managed a website for martial arts school. What does manage mean? Can you define that a little bit? I'm not quite sure. Like, what kind of managing? Did you manage a WordPress? Like, what did? Well, you have some first person here you need to remove. Instead, you could say managed day-to-day operations or something like that. And that is it. Hopefully I didn't go by too fast. I'm still thinking about how I can structure these kind of resume reviews. I wish I could like take this and then restructure, but I don't want to make the resume for you. Like, I'm not you. So it doesn't make sense for me to do that. I wish I could just kind of have a little tool where I could show you what I mean by that. But anyways, guys, if you want to be featured in these types of videos, I want to get a cover letter one going, I want to get a, continue this resume one, and I want to do a portfolio review. So if you want to be featured in these videos, the email is in the description. We also have a Discord. Be sure to join the Discord. I'm always there, always chatting up with you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for watching these videos. Thank you for the support. And if you want to see more of these videos, be sure and hit that little subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified when I upload these videos. And thanks for watching. In 2004, I learned lots of skills: intuitive understanding of economic supply and demand, good with money, ran my own delivery service, had consistent clientele with high customer satisfaction, gained intimate access to several county jails, learned a valuable life lesson. I'd say if you do that 3 times, that's a federal offense, and not only will that be a valuable life lesson, I think that will also be your sentence. So, next.